All right, Andrew's just getting ready to start in offset disc in here. The girls are chisel plowing a corn strip on the other side of this hayfield, or on the other side of them power lines, and I'm going to be Terradisking a corn strip on the other side of the road there. So this is an Amco 15-foot offset disc. We ended up putting all new discs on this and all new bearings here just a couple of weeks ago. We had a hydraulic hose to replace. This other hydraulic hose isn't in the greatest shape, but it's not a power down hose. It's just a return hose, or it's not a power up hose. So if that one blows, it's not going to hurt anything. You can actually run that cylinder with just one hose, the hose to make the cylinder go out. We ended up putting a couple of new tires on this, so this is all ready to go. Got the 7290 on it, and he should be ready to go here. So he's gonna do this field here. This is like 30 acres, I think it is. I could be wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this does a pretty good job, and he's gonna take all that black paint off of those discs. This has had manure injected on it, the drag line injected here. So, well, we're gonna have to walk over to the 8320 and we'll start in. We'll have to visit him a little later on here with the drone. The girls are gonna move down the road here once they get that field there done, and we'll maybe throw the drone up a little later and check in on these guys. But that's making a lot of dirt, so we'll leave him alone and we'll start walking that way. All right, so this will be the first time that we have taken off from the cab of the 8320. So we are fitting some ground with a Pottinger Terradisk here, and we're gonna go over and check on Andrew. Andrew's on the other side of the road here, and then we'll come back and we'll see how this thing, what kind of a job this thing here is doing. We can actually back up a little bit and give you a kind of a visual as we fly on out of here. This end of the field here, I ended up having the girls chisel plow. There was manure on this farm here that had been injected, and they injected on the other side of the field here up in front of us. Now this part of the field that's up in front of us here was not chisel plowed, so they chisel plowed this part here and then up into where it gets into this little bit of a ravine and starts to go up the hill here. That was not chisel plowed, and we're just doing it with the Pottinger tool here. It's going to be a one and done type thing, and we're going to seed this down to alfalfa. So like I was saying, this is the Cleverly farm here. We have, there's about 800 or 900 acres over here in all. There is a milking facility on this particular farm, and we rent that to another guy, and he ends up drag line and manure off of that farm and onto this ground here. So we've got a new seeding piece here that we're flying over the top of, and then that field that Andrew started here this morning, he's got better than, well, it's better than half done. He's been having some trouble with the 7290. We've had some coils or shift packs or whatever the heck they are give it some trouble here, so we had to fix him up a couple of times here. I don't know how much longer he's going to keep going. I've been on the phone with Jake a couple times here, and he told me what to look for, and we went after a couple of things, and Andrew is back up and going again. What the problem is with it is it ends up going right into park. So yeah, welcome to the world of IVT. So yeah, Andrew's not too happy right now because he actually wanted to spread box stall manure with the 4450 today, and I've got somewhat of a weak signal here, so I don't know what kind of a picture that you're all gonna get from that. But on this offset disc, we ended up putting new disc blades on it, and it is doing a phenomenal job. This field here was drag lined, had manure injected into it with a drag line system as well, and we're actually farming this the other way here now. And 2 years ago when we started in on this farm, this was sod. We ended up spraying it with Roundup, and I no-tilled corn into it, and we had a phenomenal crop off of it. And behind us here is where we had oats last year. My brother ended up planting wheat in on that, and then there was a hedgerow in between this field and where the wheat is planted. My father took that out, and now what we're going to do is we're going to run this all as one field. We'll end up seeding that down where the wheat is here this summer, and then we'll have a continuous crop of hay here from one side to the other. And I lost reception with the damn drone again, so it's probably gonna fly back to me here, and then what it's gonna do is it'll regain reception to the remote, which it already has. Now I can see what Andrew is doing. Looks like he is still moving, which is a good thing. Now the girls are over here as well. We'll go over and check on them here in a minute. But you can see that offset disc is doing a pretty good job. Now my father was over here in the fall, and he ended up pushing all of the hedgerows back and the tree lines and whatever, and as you can see, that is all pushed back pretty good. I'm a little glitchy here with the drone because I am too far away from me and the drone. I might have to jump out of this tractor here, and yeah, here we go. We've got reception back again. And as you can see right there where the ground is a little darker, that's where Andrew was broke down. I ended up getting him back going again here, and not really broke down. We just had an issue with the controllers on the actual transmission itself. So we're gonna fly over now. We're gonna check on Alex and Sarah. This hedgerow here, we must have quite a bit of wind blowing because I am not able to fly this too fast. I'm only going 10 miles an hour here, so it might take us a little while to get over to where the girls are plowing at. But they ended up finishing up this field that is on the other side of this hay field here on the other side of the road. I am in that field right there, and the girls, they're down plowing on the other side of this other wheat field here. So we'll see if we can fly over and see how they're doing. I might have too much wind up in the sky here where we are. Actually, I'm turning the headland here, so bear with me for a second, and we'll fly over and we'll check on them. Click the auto steer, get the implement down, and we are in, oh wait a minute, I'd be better off, I don't have any wind trouble. I was in tripod mode. Tripod mode flies a lot slower than either normal mode or sport mode. So we're up to 40 miles an hour right now. I've got to watch it. I've got a cell tower right directly in front of me here, and there's another one off to the left. Again, this is, whoa, 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 whoa. I got to move over some. I'm going to end up hitting a cable. I didn't realize I was as close as I was there. I'll end up hitting a stabilizer cable, and I'll be SOL. So we kind of recovered from that. And let me see if I can't maybe adjust this up a little bit here so it's not as dark on the screen. But where the girls are right now is on the other side of this horse farm, and this is kind of a goofy shaped field. I think it's like 80 acres if I remember right. Wow, they got quite a bit of that done. This had been drag lined on as well. I ended up having to go over into there, and you'll see some tracks from the pottinger that are just kind of askewed around there. I ended up cleaning up some ruts that the custom outfitters did when they were moving the hose and stuff across the field here. And you know, again, I've got a small screen, so I can't tell really where these guys are here. Looks like I got one of them up in front of us here, or maybe both of them are down to that other end there. But you can start to see the actual dairy barns here. There they are there, and the manure pond is off to the left-hand side here of the frame, to the left-hand side of the barn there. And it's a pretty nice setup. They can drag line right out of that. All the land is in one spot here, and they come over into where we're plowing, and they can move a lot of manure in a hurry. They're moving like, they could do 2-3 million gallons of manure in just a couple of days. It takes us a couple of weeks to move that much. So we'll see if we can find, see if we can see Sarah and Alex here before I fly back to where I am running this Terradisk, and we'll fly the drone around me for a minute here, and then we'll put the drone back in its case. And I apologize, but I do not see where they are here, and I'm getting a little glitchy because I am flying, or I am running to the other end of the field that I am in, and there's a lot of interference in the cab of the tractor with the remote for the drone. You got glass, and you've got the metal structure of the cab. There's the computer equipment that's in the tractor here that interferes with the reception a little bit. Looks like that's Alex there with the 8360, and Sarah must be down in this hole down in here or something. I don't see her, but it looks like they've got this field just about done here as far as the majority of it goes. So we'll fly back over, and we'll see how things are going with this pottinger, because we cannot see where Sarah is. You guys have probably seen her already, but I can't see it on the screen here, so it's kind of hard for me to decipher. Oh, there's Sarah right there. So she's doing the headland. Actually, that might be Alex there, and Sarah was down the other end. No, that's Sarah. 9560 articulator. Again, it's a small view on the screen of the phone here. So we're gonna fly back over to where I'm plowing here. I've got a little hook in the field here. I've got to kind of maneuver myself around that, and we'll get on the straight and narrow here, and we'll be able to fly the drone near this pottinger. I've had to make a couple of adjustments to this, and it's doing real good. I didn't have it quite adjusted right, but we have her adjusted good here now, and it is doing a nice job. The one field that we're flying over the top of is an old hay field here, and you can kind of see the lines in the field where they have drag lined into it as well. I thought Auburn Ag would be kind of over here at the same time. They were gonna spray this with Roundup to burn the hay off of it. So here we are getting right over the top of the 8320 and the potting here. I'll get it a little closer to the ground now that I'm closer to the remote. I don't have to be so high up in the air, but I have to watch it because there is a power line that runs across the middle of this field here, and I don't want to entangle myself in the wires here. We're going to turn it down to normal mode so that the drone ain't so glitchy here, and we'll just kind of fly in behind it, show you the job it's doing. I've got to turn this headland here, and we'll get turned around the other way. It'll give you a visualization as to what this looks like as it turns the headland. I'm going to have a couple of hands on deck here to get the implement lifted up some. All this does is, when you turn the headland, is you lift the, well actually you're pushing the packer down in the back, and you are forcing the discs up out of the ground. And what it does is it rides on the packer assembly that is on the very back of the unit that kind of just rolls along. And that is how you turn the headland. So I'll get auto guidance line is there. Get the auto steer back on. Get the selective control lever. And there we go. So this 8320 handles this thing quite well. I kidded around in that last video there saying that, you know, we should have bought the bigger one. Well, they don't have a bigger one than this one. This one is 10 meters, which is roughly 32 or 3 feet, whatever that works out to be. And it does pretty good. They want you to pull this a little faster than what we're pulling it, but I'm just uncomfortable going any faster than 6-7 miles an hour, and I'm going a little bit slower now than what I normally go, just because I'm kind of flying the drone here and I don't need to crash anything and whatever else like that. But this ground, like I was saying, what we're going to do is we are going to seed this down to alfalfa. It is, what is it, April 24th here now, so we've got a few days to go before we actually want to put any corn in the ground. A little earlier on, I thought we'd be planting corn by the 25th of April. However, it has been rather cold here the last few days, and it just does not seem like it wants to warm up. And we really don't need to be getting any corn in the ground in any kind of a hurry. So we're going to hold off to our customary start of May 1st to say maybe through the 10th. We've started as late as that before, just because usually we're putting manure down still. And Jared has done a phenomenal job with keeping up with that, going along with the amount of breakdowns that we've had. He's running a half a crew today, being Saturday, and we just got the W900 going here the other day. However, we've got fuel going into coolant. I'm gonna cancel the drone flying back to where it started from its home point. But yeah, we've got fuel going into the coolant on the W900, and he's done a little research on that, and he's found out that it could be an injector cup or a problem with the head. So he's flushed it out. I've got to see what he's determined after he gets done hauling today here. I'm hoping he has good news for me, but it does not sound like we're going to get out of it that easy here. So yeah, well, we're going to get to the end of the field up here. We're going to bring the drone down. I've got 20% of battery left, and if any of you are interested in knowing, these drones have they have kind of a safety feature that it doesn't let you fly any longer than what it would take to get the drone back to its home point. In other words, where it took off from. And that's that message you heard here just a second ago. It wanted to leave enough battery so that it could return to where it took off from. I just deleted that message, canceled the command of it, and then we're going to be able to land the drone. Once I turn the headland here, the next step it'll go through is it will just land on its own, and that's all fine and good, but you kind of need to know where the drone is when it does that so that you can find it here. So I got a gentleman out mowing his lawn. He's gonna think I'm a little silly here when he sees me stop to retrieve a drone out of the air. So I've got a little bit left of this battery, so I'm just gonna stretch things out a little bit here. Give you another visual of the left-hand side view here. I'm down to 14% battery, and let's see, we're doing 5.4 miles an hour. Now, this wouldn't be fair to say how fast I can pull this thing with this tractor, because now I'm slightly going downhill. So we're not even going to entertain that thought, because it's not fair, of course. Now, what I did here, I'm actually going over a spot in the field that I've already done with the pottinger, and the reason why that is the way it is because I wanted to see if we actually had to chisel this, and I made a couple of passes in the middle of the field before the girls moved down the road here, and I just wanted to see what kind of a job it would do in this ground that they injected manure on. This, the tool that they must have used some kind of a disc tool to inject the manure with, because yeah, now I've got a low battery warning. So critically low battery. So that is going to do it, folks. I'm going to bring the drone down now, and we'll land. Well, see, it's already landing now, so we'll just let it land itself. Actually, it probably won't land, because what it'll do is it'll detect that the ground is not safe to land in. No, I lied. It landed. All right, see you later, folks. We'll catch you at the next one.